Come on! Let's do it!
All right.
Let's hit it. Okay.
Welcome back.
This is going to be, I've been actually looking forward to this for quite a while. We are going to be talking to you about winter gear, winter apparel. I'm going to be your Sitka Arrowhead equipment representative for this winter. You are going to be seeing this stuff all the time, so we figured at the start of the season, we would bring you a video to go through the overview of the system. There's going to be a couple things that I don't have. We'll kind of go through all that. And then essentially, given that we have very little time on this stuff, especially you on yours, given that you live in Arizona, at the end of winter, we'll do like a full deep dive in terms of like how did everything perform and all that good stuff. So this video is going to be focused on Sitka Arrowhead equipment. And if you're like, I've never heard of that, there's a reason for it. Because it's brand freaking new. It's like the newest hot shit that everyone's talking about. All the kids are talking about it. So we're going to talk about that. A couple quick plugs here to keep the lights on. 1911 Syndicate, we are a real estate company. Do you get annoyed about hearing this in every video? Yes, you do. Do I care? Nah, because I gotta pay the bills too, right? So, hey, we're a real estate company. If you need help, let us know. We got that link down below. Patreon's down there. We keep this a shill-free experience for you guys, okay? And that includes not taking money to push things that we don't really want to push. So,
which let me caveat real quick. Sorry to cut you off. We also appreciate that people recognize that. Lately, there's been a lot of comments like, hey, we appreciate you guys being honest, upfront about everything. So, like, I think that is a little testament to what people view the channel as.
I hope you guys get. We try to keep this as raw and organic as we can, whether good or bad on the product. We keep it real. So Sitka Arrowhead, just a couple of disclaimers here. So more or less everything I'm going to be showing you guys I paid for. A couple of items were sent to us, including this jacket, which we'll talk about, and then the shell that I will show you. I'm not wearing it because it's the incorrect size. That was sent to us by US Elite Gear. US Elite Gear carries all of the Sitka stuff, at least at the time of filming this, because the line is so new and no one really knows about it yet. They're actually really well stocked on everything. We do have a code for that. I almost always forget to plug it. It's just 1911 Syndicate, no spaces. We'll have that below. Get you free shipping. So
all lowercase too, right?
Yeah. So it'll save you, I don't know, $15 or something on shipping. So hey, it's a couple bucks that you can save and supports us at the same time. So there's that. Let's talk a little bit about Sitka Arrowhead. So I'm going to give you an overview of what it is. The technical name for this line is Sitka Arrowhead Equipment. Okay, and I was fortunate to be able to talk to kind of the main guy that runs the Arrowhead department. And I asked him, I was like, hey, so what is the significance of the Arrowhead? And he said, well, it's two things. So Sitka, for those of, I'm going to assume pretty much everyone understands that Sitka is like, as far as I'm aware, like the top dog in hunting apparel.
I mean, Gucci hunting apparel.
Yeah. Very nice stuff. Really great reputation. Like it's this is fun for us because it's like, man, this is a company that has a great reputation. Everyone loves. So it's like cool. I love being affiliated with companies like that. But it pays. The Arrowhead equipment side pays homage to the Sitka hunting side, where of course an arrowhead is used to take down game. But also it pays homage to the 1st Special Service Force, which was an American-Canadian commando unit that was stood up back in World War II that was trained out of Montana. Sitka being in Montana, they kind of combine these two things between hunting and special operations. So the Sitka Arrowhead line is Sitka's entry into the military side of doing apparel, right? Focused at, more of the special operations community. We'll get into prices, all that kind of stuff, because the stuff certainly is not cheap. But just, I think you guys come to expect that on the channel. We usually show you pretty nice stuff. I'm going to give you a couple of general notes here, and then we'll go piece by piece through the system.
And real quick,
yes.
Again, sorry to cut you off. A lot of companies start out with one thing and then get into the tactical or special operations space. Arc'teryx is a great example. I am going to be the Leaf guy.
If this video has not come out, you will have Leaf coming kind of as the secondary component here.
But they started off as like a mountaineering company. And then, guys in special operations do hardcore shit in crazy environments, so it only makes sense. And then they stood up Leaf. So it's similar with Sitka and Sitka Arrowhead.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Sitka has such a great reputation as a brand. And again, guys, because I'm going to give this disclaimer to you guys, and then I swear we'll start getting into stuff. I'm not being paid by Sitka. I paid for 80% of everything that I have here. So it's like, there's no nod and wink here. Like, I mean, straight up. Because I'm going to look like a Sitka billboard this winter, and Chris is going to look like an Arc'teryx Leaf billboard this winter. It's simply because we paid money to invest in this shit because we... Look around, guys. Look around.
It's a little chilly.
It's chilly. We're on top of a mountain, right? And we do that on purpose. So anyway, let's get into some general notes, then we'll go piece by piece. Let's talk about this for some of you that don't either live in cold climates, or if you do, but you just don't really get out that much. So regulating body temperature in cold climates is very tough. What makes it tough, I'll put it this way. So a buddy of mine who is a Force Recon guy, he told me in all the training that they would do that regulating body temperature for them was like the toughest thing.
Yeah.
Because you'll go from doing what we're doing out here, right? You're moving around with load-bearing equipment, and you're moving up a hill, and you've got all your gear on, and then you're like, oh, I got hot real quick, and I don't want to sweat. Sweat, just so you guys understand, is your enemy in an environment like this, because once you do this now, which is you just are standing here and that sweat cools, now you got a problem. Now you're cold. So we have interesting, kind of challenging days in the winter because we'll go from running around, moving, shooting, climbing up hills, shit like that, to now we're going to be standing here for 30 minutes and you get cold. So point being, the Arrowhead line and most stuff that's going to be similar to this is based on a layering system, right? So it's components that you're going to stack upon each other to find what the best sort of formula is for that moment. Now that when I was moving, felt great. Now starting to get a little bit chillier. So this is a case where if I had access to, you know, additional layers, we'll get into that because the shell that I have is not the right size. So I'll show it to you, but it doesn't actually fit me, so I'm sending it back. I would throw that on right now because now I'm starting to get a little bit more chilly, right? So it's based on a layering system. A couple things that I know people are going to ask, so we'll get into this at the start. Sizing. So it's one of the best 1911 Syndicate conspiracies that Chris is 5'10", which would mean that I'm like 5'2", right? So everyone thinks that I'm the tiniest man on the planet. Chris is built like Shrek, okay? I'm built like a normal... I'm built like a normal athletic American male, okay? So I would be 5'10", 170 pounds of lean, mean fighting machine. Okay?
You're built like an average American.
No, absolutely not.
Can I show the audience something?
Sure.
Switch spots.
Well, this is ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. He's on a hill. He's on a hill now.
Now, do the rest like this because it'll be so funny.
1000%. Running up. Action. Threat.
I'm like literally a foot taller than you.
And so, just for everyone's reference, because sizing on systems like this is always very tough, and it's always shit has to go back and forth and get returned till you find the right size. I am a standard medium in the Sitka Arrowhead stuff. Normally, I am a large in most apparel, because I'm a large male.
To the bit of you wearing a medium shirt the other day, and I was like, what?
Yeah. So I'm a standard medium, so just know that 5'10", 170, built like a brick shit house, you're going to be in a medium, okay? So there's that. Color options, they do have a few. So they're going to have black in most things. They're going to have multicam, which I have on their shell pants, and then they have this lead, which is this dark gray. Super cool. I don't know why dark gray is just always the coolest color in the room, but it is. Couple other things, because I know it will come up. So Berry compliance versus TAA compliant. So let's just get into this real quick. So Berry compliant is basically all of the materials and manufacturing processes, the sewing, everything is done in America, right? So it's a 100% American-made product. The exterior shell that we'll get into, not this, but the shell that will be like a shell that you're wearing, and then the shell pants are Berry compliant. The reason you be Berry compliant is so that you can get big military contracts. Yeah. So if you want like big army as a client, if you will, your shit needs to be Berry compliant. Okay, so the two signature sort of wet weather pieces from Sitka are Berry compliant. Now, here's the caveat to that. Everyone loves American made until you figure out how much American made costs. Okay, so we will go through price of all of these different things, but just understand, hey, you want the American made Gucci shit? Cool, you are gonna pay for it, right? But according to everyone that watches the channel, you hate anything made from China, so you have no issues supporting American-made products. And then there's TAA compliant. All the other products are TAA compliant, which is going to be basically a trade agreement between the U.S. and a foreign nation. The rest of this stuff, like this jacket, for example, made in El Salvador, You can do like small military contracts, like individual units. If you're like, hey, we need to kit out these like 20 CAG dudes or something like that. Okay, cool. But big military contracts, not so much. So just understand that's kind of the dynamic. I probably just said some shit that's not 100% correct, so you guys can get down in the comments.
From my understanding, that is correct.
Yeah. So let's go piece by piece now. Okay guys, so we're gonna start getting into the systems. We're gonna start with the shells. We're gonna start bottom, and then we will work our way to the top, and we will have that momentarily. So the pant is the wet weather protective pant. They actually, so here's one thing that you should know. So the Arrowhead line came out in May. So it's
this year, 2021.
Yeah. So it's like 5 months old or something. It's brand new. So for a lot of you, even the Sitka fans, you're like, I didn't even know about that. Yeah. Exactly, because it's brand new. So there's going to be items that they're adding in the time that I got these pants, which is like 2 weeks ago. They already have a half bib version of it. So they're already coming out with new stuff. So just understand that. But this is the wet weather protective pant. These are berry compliant. Okay, so we already talked about that. Meant to be worn as a shell. What does that mean? It means they're really not meant to keep you warm. They're meant to keep you dry, right? So I can go frolic in the snow and in the rain, and I will be dry.
Because it's 100% Gore-Tex.
Yeah. So Sitka is, I believe I'm saying this correct, is either part of or owned by WL Gore, which is AKA Gore-Tex. So the Gore-Tex that is used in the pants and the jacket shell, it's the highest level of waterproofing that you can get. Cool. Like, it's the good shit. It's the official, like, the best shit that you can get. So you would wear these over other pants. You could, depending on how cold it is and what the conditions are, you could throw in like thermal underwear and then just the shell. That would seem kind of weird. Chances are, like today, for example, so it's what, 30-ish degrees?
Yeah, it was 28 when we parked, so.
Yeah, 27 degrees. Okay, so it's 27 degrees. And so right now I've just got on normal compression shorts like you would wear in the gym. I've got on a pair of Cry G3s, and then I've got on these shells. I'm fine. My lower body's totally fine. Like, I'm not cold. So just so you get it, you can wear other pants underneath these. In terms of how you get them on and off, it's actually pretty clever. So we're good. So for donning and doffing is what this is called, everyone. So there's going to be a zipper that's going to run the entire length of the pant. That way, earlier when we were about to go, we were like, damn it, I got to lock the truck, which is in my Cry pants. No problem, right? Because I can just unzip this, access my Cry pocket, unlock the truck, throw the key back in, and zip these bad boys up. Same thing with the bottom. It's a double, two-way zipper, right? So I can unzip these from the bottom. That way, if I've got on boots and stuff already and I need to throw these on, no problem. I can get my boots and all that kind of stuff through these. So very, very cool.
They're like tactical
design.
bell bottoms, kind of.
Yeah, 100%. So they do not have belt loops. So you can just see on this, there's no belt loops. There is a little internal belt system that it has here. So it hooks in, and then this just basically tucks back in here, which we're not going to fiddle with right now. But there's no traditional belt loop. So if you're going to be running this with, you'd have to run like a battle belt with this.
Over top of it.
Yeah. Because you don't have normal belt loops to be able to do normal belt things. You do have a belt, of course. These come with suspenders as well. I didn't put them on because I just didn't need them today.
Yeah.
But they do have suspenders where you can basically hook in right here, and then in the back. So you throw in suspenders. So if you're, load-bearing equipment, stuff like that, that extra insurance policy to keep these bad boys up.
Which, we were a little worried because you were wearing your Cries, and then we threw those on. You're like, ooh, the waist is going to be a little tight.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get these done.
Yeah.
They do have a little.
Get it done.
They have a little flexibility back here, so there is a little bit of that stretch fabric. So it's like, because I really did not think these were going to go today. I was like, shit, we got a problem, because I already cut the tags off. So let's see. We've got that side zippers we covered. We've got the thigh pockets that are right here. So these are actually pretty deep.
And very well placed.
Yeah, so like perfectly placed. So that's, my entire hand will get in there, so you can keep gloves, hat, extra mags, whatever it is that you need there. This material at the bottom is actually really cool. So the stuff that's down here is really tough. So it's a neoprene that's got Kevlar in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so basically it's at the instep there, which is going to be a high wear point. Sitka Direct, in my conversation with it, they were like, look, stuff that's going to be heavily used, military environment, stuff like that, things like fast roping, things like that. It's designed to just like be ultra tough down there.
And even just sliding your boots off with your other foot, it doesn't tear or mess up the fabric.
Yeah, 100%, right? Cool. So it's going to take a lot of abuse down there. That's why they have that neoprene Kevlar material down there. These do have an internal ID tag. I will show you on the other shell when we take it out, just so you get it, but essentially it's for military contracts. That way you can just write, hey, you know, John Smith or whatever on the little tag. So
Blade.
Everyone, yeah, Blade is a name that I'm trying to adopt. I made my ex, maybe that's why she's an ex. I don't know. We wanted to instill a nickname, and I went with Blade. Blade is what I wanted to be called. And I even got,
I know.
Yeah, no, Crispy, you shut the fuck up behind the camera. So we were in the sidebar, and then we'll be back on the pants, but we're in Cheesecake Factory, and she told the server that it was my birthday, and she was like, oh, what name should we put on the cake?
You
and
didn't say Blade.
I was like, ma'am, can you please put Blade is what that people call me. So
hence why she's an ex.
Cheesecake Factory came out, and they were singing happy birthday to you, and it said Blade on the cake. Happy birthday, Blade is what it said. And it was awesome. So you can start calling me Blade. Thank you very much.
I mean, it's a great nickname, but you lost a girlfriend in that. So is it really that good?
Yeah, well, you know, whatever. Life moves on, you know. So the Multicam, which I'm wearing here, is NIR compliant, which is going to be for night vision signatures.
Yeah,
right?
thermal, right?
Yeah. Right. So this, if you're running nods, thermals, anything like that, this is going to essentially eliminate some of that signature that you would put out. Price on these bad boys, everyone calm down. $750. Okay, so yes, they are expensive, but this is also what happens when you want, hey, you want some Berry compliant American-made shit?
American-made.
You pay for it.
TAA compliant also.
Well, that's the other stuff.
NIR compliant.
Yeah. So lot of stuff going on. Okay, let's talk about the shell. Let's talk about the shell for up top here. So wet weather protective jacket, also Berry compliant. We've already been through that. Same thing, not meant to keep you warm, to keep you dry in snow, rain, all that kind of stuff. Highest rating of Gore-Tex, waterproofing, all the same stuff that applies with the pants applies with this. So some of the specifics. So you will notice tags, if we haven't addressed that. You'll notice tags. This is a large. As mentioned earlier, it turns out I'm a medium in all this stuff. My medium, unfortunately, has not gotten here, which is a really unfortunate day with this to not have it, but it is what it is. So this is going back, which is why there's tags on it. The pockets that are up here, these torso pockets are what would be the equivalent of like normal pockets.
Yeah.
Right? This kind of stuff is meant to work in conjunction with plate carriers and things like that, where it's going to be tough to use any of this, but this is just a more accessible area when you do want to stick your hands in.
Yeah, like if you had a plate carrier on, you just, I understand.
Yeah. So like it might look kind of weird, like you would have your hands up here. Yes, you would. All the shells that I've had of this kind of variety, that is the way that it goes. We do have one internal pocket there, really nothing of note. We do have these arm pockets that are on both sides that, you know, you could use for, you know, I don't know, whatever, Twinkie, whatever, you know, whatever makes you happy. Explosives.
For us, it's Twinkies.
Skittles.
For actual cool guys, yeah, it's explosives and probably a map. And
yeah, like real shit for real dudes. A really good feature, hang on that for 1 sec, is these underarm vents. So you will see this.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a critical feature of systems like this in my mind. So struggling because the jacket's not zipped up. You get the idea though. This is going to come to somewhere in yay neighborhood, right? So essentially this is a vent that, hey, you now have on a plate carrier rifle, whatever you're hiking, you're like, I'm starting to get a little bit warm. I need to get some ventilation, try to cool myself down so I don't hit that point of sweat. Get these vents going, and right, then it starts getting a little bit cool, and then you send them back down, right? And you just re-zip that back down. Crinkled the shit out of my notes. Thanks so much. Adjustable hood. I haven't really played with this that much, guys. So this is, do not consider this a review. I'm giving you an overview of the system. The review will come like 6 months from now. But anyway, the hood is completely adjustable. Has all the adjustment points, including back here.
In the back, yeah.
So you can tighten that down. You're probably not going to wear it with bump helmets and things like that, but if it was actual weather protection, of course you can adjust it to do whatever you want. Hem closure at the bottom, so hey, if you want to tighten this down so that it's just going to cinch up so that cold air isn't, you know, getting in, all that kind of stuff. That's all available. You got loop on the arm for patches, so that's all pretty self-explanatory if you want to put on your like whatever.
One
cool
thing I want
patch.
to point out, they shrink, what is this called? Flex seal, shrink seal? What is this called?
I don't know.
So they shrink wrapped all the zippers, so it doesn't fray or anything like that, but also you can cut this off and use it to start a fire fairly easy. So good on them for that.
Really?
I know that for a fact, yeah.
Well, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So I like
Did not
fire
know
starting
that.
kits, you have rubber in, because rubber will burn hot long. Boom.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'm a
shit.
wealth of knowledge, Jake.
Jeez.
I play dumb so you don't give me more responsibilities.
Well, you play it well.
Damn it, I walked into that one.
So I was mentioning this on the pants. Internal ID tag. So the shell, the upper and the bottom are gonna have this internal ID tag, right? So you could write, I would write blade. I would write blade on this, right? And then no one would take blade's materials, one, because clearly I would have blade and I have skills with a blade. Also NIR compliant, we've already kind of discussed that. And then last thing, you wanted American-made products, everyone, and ye shall pay for it. This jacket is $950, so I would consider that a bargain, right? It's like practically like going to the dollar store.
Hey, it's better than supporting China.
Yeah, so if you guys, I don't want to support
I'll
anything.
take my
made
mortgage
overseas.
payment and buy a fucking rainproof shell.
Yeah, that's correct. So we got Velcro over here, so you can cinch these bad boys down. All that kind of awesome stuff. But yes, hey, like we said, hey, Barry compliant, you want the American-made shit, you are going to pay for it. On to the next piece. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the show.
Little nipply. I hope I never do that again. Ugh. Fuck. Why did I do that?
You're welcome, everyone.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's start with base layers now, and we'll build up. Now, it just started snowing, so that's just great timing. It's just great timing, everyone. So this, real quick, this is the Core Lightweight Crew short sleeve, okay? This is a quick dry material, right? So this is designed to wick sweat off of you. It also does come with a treatment to help with odor control.
Oh, cool.
Because we can all get a little odorous.
Little ripe.
Yeah.
A little ripe.
Right? You're out, you're hiking.
The moisture control is huge, though, for hypothermia and all that stuff.
It's like the key piece.
Yeah.
Like as an actual base layer, you need something like this, or hand me the other one. We'll just go ahead and move on
Which
to
one?
the...
This one?
No,
This
the
one.
guy underneath there. So they also have a long sleeve version. I'm not going to bother putting this on because you can figure it out pretty quick. It's identical to this, except it's long sleeves, everyone.
Perfect.
So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take the short sleeves. They're going to be longer, and then that's exactly what that is going to be. Same thing. So these are going to be two really core pieces. Like if you're going to get this stuff, you have to get these couple of things. Like these base layers are critical for you. Price on the short sleeve is $59. Price on the long sleeve is $69, fair price. TAA compliant, okay? So not Barry compliant, TAA compliant. Next piece, everyone. Another critical piece, like in terms of, you know, because I've had other, cold weather gear from other companies and stuff, and the thing that I'd say gets the most use is going to be your like all around like mid-weight base layer. That's what this is, okay? This is specifically, just so you guys get the name, Core Midweight Zip Tee is what this is, okay? So this is going to be just like a base layer. So what I've been wearing all day out here is the short sleeve base layer underneath here, and with this on top. You could wear this next to skin. I just think you're going to get a little bit more warmth out of it if you throw that base layer underneath. Okay. Critical piece. Does have left chest pocket there, right? Nothing super notable, but keep your cash, your ID, or whatever.
Aesthetically, all their stuff is just awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it looks very,
Fantastic.
very good.
Right. Does have these little thumb loops. These are for when you put on other layers, right? And you're layering stuff up and down. These don't start sliding up, right? So it's just a little, right? So, and we'll get to the gloves here shortly. Price on this bad boy, $99 total. Like great
Fair.
price. That's a great price on something. I'm telling you, you will get a shit ton of use out of this midweight base layer. On to the next.
As I unzip, which one do you want?
God, you look like you're selling Rolexes in Central Park. Next is the mid-layer pullover. So this is a great piece. In terms of everything that I've gotten in, guys, I basically have the full system. There's a couple of things that I don't have. There's actually a couple, so I ordered a duplicate of this. So this is basically like kind of a mid-layer, but it's a fleece, okay? So this is gonna be heavier than that actual like mid-layer base layer that I just showed you, but not like a full-on jacket. So there's a lot of chilly days where like this is going to be fantastic. So they've got a half zip version, which is this, right? Obviously pretty self-explanatory.
Will you, real quick, will this type of material, unless you're getting into it, stay warm while it's wet? Or is that more merino wool?
Yeah, it has a DWR treatment on it.
Okay, cool.
So this will start to like beat up water.
Okay.
Right. So it's not waterproof, right? It's not Gore-Tex, but
Water
it will,
resistant.
Yeah, the DWR treatment's going to help get you some wet weather protection a little bit there. They have a full zip version of this as well that I ordered, so I do have a duplicate of this coming because I liked it that much. Chest pocket there, pretty obvious. Probably the coolest feature of this thing, is this hood. So this hood, guys, is unlike any hood I've ever seen on a garment before. It legitimately acts like a beanie.
Yeah.
It looks a little goofy when it's on, as no doubt some people made fun of me from our little opening there. But I'm telling you, this thing is fantastic because it not only gets you a hood, it's like a built-in beanie. Want to see something wild?
And if you were wearing a bump helmet with just this, not your black beanie, it'd probably fit perfect under a bump. What do you got?
It's kind of a little complicated.
Is that a gag? Is there a ball in there?
Okay.
Other way. There you
Everyone,
go. Yep.
we'll get there. So it takes a second to get it sorted out. Built-in face mask.
Cover
kids.
your weird fucking nose.
Guys, you get the idea. My hands are losing a little bit of dexterity because I'm trying to give you guys the real show out here. And then now here's the only con, as I found out doing this earlier. This is
right in your fucking
this is going to shit. This is going to shit, everyone. It started out. Okay, let's just get rid. So it started out as a good demo. It took a little bit of detour there.
Took a detour.
Right. My hands are getting on the frosty side, so like I'm feeling like Skeletor's hands here. But the built-in face mask, fantastic. That came over from the hunt side. That's a feature that they have in the hunting apparel side. But I would not wear this hood with a beanie because it just complicates everything up there. But you got to take my word for it. This is a really, really cool piece, guys. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to leave you with. Oh, and it does have these little thumb loops as well, which frankly, this acts as almost like a little mini glove-ish kind of thing. I mean, It does give you a little bit of warmth, but again, to keep stuff from riding up.
Like if you were in a sniper role and had to take your gloves off for that precise shot.
100%.
Yeah.
One other thing to note, on the half zip, there's no hand pockets. On the full zip, there are. So if you want the hand pockets like that, you need
I'd
to get
want
the
the
full.
pockets.
I do too, and that's part of the reason that I ordered the full zip, just because a little easier to take on and off. And
Level of warmth. You have 3 layers now.
Yeah.
T-shirt, the long sleeve midweight thing, and now this.
Yeah, I could push what I have on now. If I was mobile, I'd actually be okay out here right now in 30-ish degrees.
Okay.
If I'm static like this, I'm gonna start getting cold.
Okay.
Last thing on this, price $230. For me, totally fair. I get it, it's expensive shit, but it's like, gotta tell you, I think it's actually a good price on this. On to the next. Let's not start with that. That would be a horrible start. Okay, let's talk about the mid-layer jacket. That is this bad boy. So it comes in 2 versions. Mine is non-hooded. They do have a hooded version. I ordered that in a medium. This is a large in this extra space that is in here. For my preferences, what I like in winter gear, I don't want all this extra space. I want to suck it in, keep it tight, keep the warmth in. That's how I roll, right? So I do have that coming in that gray. Ooh, it's going to be such a good jacket. I'm going to be wearing it around town.
That disruptive gray.
Yeah, so this is a flagship. This is considered a flagship piece for them. It is a lightly insulated jacket. It is insanely lightweight. As soon as you get it, if you get this jacket, you will have the same reaction as me, which is that is not going to keep me remotely warm in anything minus 60-degree weather. Yeah. And it does surprisingly well. Just to give you the weight, so it's 12 ounces. Like,
jeez.
Yes, a 12.
Really?
It's 12. That the large, right? They based it off the large, but it's a 12-ounce jacket. So I mean, it weighs nothing. Like, I mean, it weighs the same thing as a steak that we would eat at night, you know? I mean, like, it's, I don't know where that reference came from, but...
I eat like 18 ounce, 24 ounce.
Yeah, whatever. So, this is the thing I have the most experience on. In my experience, just a straight t-shirt with this, you can push it down to about 40, which is very surprising. You actually have one of these too.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And it got down to 40 the other day in Phoenix. Dude, I got straight icicles in my beard. I got down to 40 in Phoenix, and I was like, dude, this jacket's perfect, man. You know, it worked out great.
Yeah, t-shirt and one of these, you're good to about 40. Beyond that, you're going to just start layering up a little bit, but it is surprisingly effective. So you would, of course, if it's wet, you would throw the shell on top of this, but this is going to be your insulation piece. It is Polar Tech Alpha Direct. Okay?
Of course it is.
Which is a SOCOM approved insulation product.
No way.
Kind of cool.
That's cool.
Who would have even known that SOCOM had specific insulation? I mean, like SOCOM operating on big
But then
boy,
you think about it,
level.
you're like, well, of course they do.
Yeah. Also has a material called, I'm just going to read it because otherwise I'm never going to remember, Brookwood Aerolite H600, which is a nylon ripstop with the DWR treatment on it. So again, it was raining when you got into town last night. We were both happened to be wearing these, and we walked into the grocery store and probably looked weird to anyone that happened to see us, but we were like, look at all that. All the beads of water were just beaded up.
And then in aisle 4, we just like
you just
shook
the water off. So this isn't going to do well in like rain and snow and like prolonged wetness, but if you're like I don't know, like saying the word wetness, but
what about moist?
Yeah, worse. Yeah, it's worse.
It makes my tongue feel weird.
But I don't like talking about your tongue either. Like none of this do I enjoy. But like this will like get you through in like light rain or something like in a pinch. But you're gonna want the shell otherwise. Insanely comfortable. That's probably the thing that stands out to me about this jacket is it's the most comfortable. I mean, I'll just be wearing it in my house.
Show them the inside.
Just so this is the Polar Tech material.
It's like a fleece.
It's like kind
hybrid.
of a.
Falling apart here, people. Falling apart.
And that's the one that I need, of course. So, yeah, it does have it's this kind of like fleece-like material. They've got a couple little, oh, never mind. These aren't pockets. I forgot that. But really, really cool piece. Chest pocket. Price on this, $300. Fair, in my opinion. This is something you'll get a ton of use out of. Really, really cool piece. The last thing is the glove. These are the Gunner WS gloves. So I will agree with probably everyone that watches this. They're ugly as hell. They are
looks
not
like foreskin.
Yeah, they're dark. But
sorry, Sitka.
Yeah, but they're not attractive. This is actually my first day wearing them. So I'm gonna reserve judgment on them other than the fact that they're not the best looking. It would be great if this was in black or anything other than baby poop brown. Like, guys,
it looks like an uncircumcised penis.
Yeah,
right
whoever's picking the color gotta
look at your thumb.
Something better than
with your weird fucking stupid thumb.
I can't. I don't have the mobility because it just tightens up. So anyway, the gloves, I'll reserve judgment for now. I'll run them some this winter, see what we think. Initial impressions of everything is really, really good. I think probably the biggest bottleneck, and I would imagine that they're probably working on this, is that one like heavy duty, keep you cold and serious, or keep you warm and serious cold piece. Because you can stack all this stuff.
Like this.
Yeah, right. This is going to be more of an insulated, like, let's keep you warm down when it's 20, right? So I could throw the shell over this. I'm going to be pretty good, but even that's going to start to have its limitations. So, but I really like everything that I've got thus far. We'll be testing it out all winter, and at the end of winter, we'll bring you kind of an update on, like, here's what we think. Here's how everything performed, but just know first impressions, really good. I'm a sucker for new products when cool shit comes out, so I love testing out this kind of stuff.
And you're wearing 4 layers right now, and it doesn't look like it.
No, not at all. It's very streamlined stuff. Yeah. Like, it's not bulky stuff at all.
It's impressive, man. Yeah. I mean, this is my first winter playing around with some of this high-end winter gear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, the layers and the bulkiness, I'm fat already. It's going to be a lot of fat bulk, you know? And all this stuff is very streamlined, and, I mean, it's form-fitting. It looks really, really good.
Yeah. So so we'll keep bringing you updates on this, but that is your overview. That way you don't have to ask me in every video, like, what jacket is that? Like, this is your guide. Enjoy your guide, guys. That's it. I don't have anything else.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Later.
Cool. All right.